deserves health care. You know who should get cancer? That lady.
She should.
Yeah.
Her and Shkreli.
Okay, so top 10 startups. If you had to do a startup right now, we've been talking for 2.5 hours. We're out of cocaine.
Yeah.
We've finished it, so I feel like it's only fair that we continue the last part of the podcast.
Yeah. This is the part of like the cocaine experience where we talk about how we have ideas to make a lot of money.
So we're doing startup battle. You guys have seen Roast Battle on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
It's like Shark Tank meets Roast Battle.
Yeah, Shark Tank meets Roast Battle.
Yeah.
He pitches an idea real quick, and it's all improv. You know, you have to. That's actually. You know what? Holy shit! I might actually pitch this TV show. I think that's a good idea.
I think it is a good
Shark
idea.
Tank battle.
Yeah.
We could sell that to True TV.
Yeah, of course.
That's a great idea. So let's do a sample episode right now. You come on, and so it's Luis J. Gomez is hosting, always. The fake Puerto Rican rattlesnake, Luis J. Gomez.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, Adam, the faggot Friedland.
Oh, you got me.
Fucking faggot. What's your startup idea? And then you go.
Yeah. All right, my startup idea, it's an old one that I came up with my friend Michael Foodie once, but it's a manhole cover, and it's a butt plug that has a manhole cover on it.
And so so it looks like a
manhole cover butt plug. So it's like literally covering a man's hole.
Okay, good startup idea. Judges, what do you think? And then they,
Rich Voss.
Yeah, that's the worst fucking idea I've heard. I'm fucking Indian piece of shit.
Jeff Ross.
I don't know. I can't.
Jeff Ross, Rich Voss. They have like the same name.
Yeah, they do. I
What's
guess,
yours? Okay.
Well, you did a real one. So, and then I already mentioned on my podcast, the idea I had for the laser pointer that looks like the Batman logo
For a cat.
but it comes with a costume for your cat.
It's a really good idea.
That is a good idea. Maybe I could sell that to True TV.
I think that could be a pet rock kind of like $1 million novelty item idea.
That could.
I think so. Yeah.
All right. So, okay, you've all heard about headlights for a car, right?
Yeah.
But what about headlights when you're just walking around on the street?
Oh, yeah.
So it's two giant fucking lights to strap to your head, and it draws power from your iPhone, and then you can see where you're going at night.
Yeah. Like for spelunking, like
like those honestly,
headlamps.
that's like half of Benjamin Franklin's inventions were just bullshit like that. And everyone they're like Benjamin Franklin, statesman, inventor. It's none of his inventions are worth a shit. None of them.
What?
Electricity.
I'm thinking Jefferson. Jefferson had some inventions.
Like what? Slavery.
He invented doggy
I
style.
patented a system to make an infinite amount of children. They might be a little dark, but it's a brand new system. It involves chains and a lot of lube. Just don't inhale, dude. Don't smell it. You got to breathe through your mouth. My startup idea.
Go.
It's a tube that reroutes the air you breathe through your nose into your mouth.
Yeah.
And it has a switch on the side of your nose. So you can turn it on, and then if something smells bad, you go, oh, that smells bad. And you turn it on, and then the air just goes in your mouth, and it bypasses your olfactory.
Oh, so you could just like block your entire nose.
Yeah, this is like 23rd century body mod kind of shit.
Yeah,
That's the stuff that they're going to be doing in the future.
I like that, yeah. You could just become like nasal anytime you need.
Yeah.
Like just, you could talk like Woody Allen, you know?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have. Do you think Bernie Sanders has breathed out of both nostrils anytime in the last like 45 years?
No.
That's why I supported him, because he had a deviated septum. He clearly had allergies. Business ideas?
Yeah. I got one.
Yeah.
So you know how firefighters, they have poles in the firehouse so they can get downstairs quicker. Hello, why doesn't everybody have that?
It's just no stairs.
Firefighter
no
poles
more stairs
for everybody.
I always wondered, do firefighters like climb up the poles?
Yeah. No, dude. There's never an emergency where they have to go back to the firehouse real quickly.
So they never have to go upstairs?
No, they take the stairs up, but then they slide the pole down.
Oh. So there's the stairs only are good for going up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
You know what was a great invention? Velcro.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
Was that one of those NASA inventions?
Probably. All the bullshit NASA ever invented just wound up at Sharper Image.
Yeah, we said those.
Did we?
We talked about it.
Oh man, I'm just running through old bits.
Yeah. Well, whatever. That's my
Classic.
life.
All right, no, we got 10 more minutes, dude. We got until we got to come up with a couple more startup ideas. The listeners stayed with us through all of this. They need these startup ideas.
How about like an app that just, you know how like there are different streaming services like Hulu and Netflix, and you know, like, and if you like think of a movie, you're like, oh, I really want to know if it's streaming.
Mm-hmm.
What about an app that just aggregates all of that and then just tells you?
They have that. If you Google anything, it'll show you what streaming service it's on. How about this? So like Shazam, but for movies.
Oh,
right?
That's good.
So let's say you're like in the movie theater and you're watching a movie and you're like, what movie am I watching? You just hold your phone up and then your phone, the light comes on. It says, detecting movie now.
Yeah. I got an idea.
Yeah.
So you know how like people post
how about
like,
Shazam?
Facebook statuses?
Wait, hold on. Shazam, but for people's races.
Uh-huh.
So you're in the workplace, right? And you're like, oh, Latricia, I got this great joke. And you're like, wait a second. And then you pull your phone out and then it scans her face and it's like, Dominican. And you're like, never mind. And then you go back to your
that's
office.
a good idea. All right, so you know how like Facebook has like you could post statuses, but then they have like events, and then they have like photos, like albums, and all that stuff. How about just the statuses, but then like with a character limit? So like a website that you could just like 140 characters, and you could just post statuses on.
I don't think that would work.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that would be successful.
Well, okay.
You know, I like every like 2 years, like they're like Twitter's getting rid of the character limit, and then no one knows where those stories come from, and they never do.
They never do.
And I always complain about it.
You want more characters?
No, I don't. I think that would ruin the joke format.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the fun part about Twitter is you have to make
being
everything
succinct.
Simple. Yeah.
Brevity is the soul of wit. Mark
Taking
Twain.
the fat off.
Yeah. Mark Twain said that, dude.
Mark Twain?
Yeah. Mark Twain, who believed that so much that he shortened his name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about an app that no, nothing. No.
The cat is viciously eating its own asshole. Right.
Yeah.
Imagine if Brandon were here. How upset he'd be about this.
Fam, I'm crying.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I could have just used this time to riff out the Star Wars jokes for that birthday party I thought I was doing. I was thinking about, like, you know, Chewbacca?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he wear clothes? How do they know not to eat Chewbacca?
Because he has, like, arms and legs, you know? He's like a guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Chewbacca's a guy.
How many Chewbaccas do you think they ate before they were like, all right, they're people?
I mean, isn't that the thing? Is like they're a bunch of aliens that they're like, oh, that's a guy. That's not like a monster.
Yeah, but he doesn't wear clothes. He just screams all the time.
He has that belt thing around his chest.
Yeah, he has a bandolier, which makes him like a Zapata type of character.
Yeah, he's
I guess.
Cool. Yeah.
What if he's got like he's growling, but it's in like a Mexican accent? Like if you could translate it, because he's like a Mexican revolutionary. That's why he has that bandolier.
I loved in episode 3 where they like, you know, the movie's just not ending and it needs to end. Mm-hmm. And then there's a part where Yoda's like on the planet with the Wookiees and he's like, goodbye, random Wookiee number 1 and Chewbacca. And then all the nerds in the theater are like, yay, we got him in there.
Yeah. No, they were doing that in the Force Awakens too, though.
Were they?
Yeah, I think they had like
cameos.
They put everybody in there. That movie sucked. Now that I got some distance from it, it really wasn't good.
I saw it in the theaters. It was very exciting and fun.
My big joke when that movie came out was like, okay, guys, who's excited to find out why C-3PO's got that red arm? Because that was like a cliffhanger.
Right, yeah. People got mad at you.
Yeah, well, no. And then immediately after that, I saw like an article or two that was like, what's up with C-3PO's red arm? And I'm like, I guess that's not a joke. Oh, I was trying to do it because you know how all the characters are racist?
Yeah.
I was thinking like, you know, so C-3PO, I think initially the reason why he's gold and his name sounds so much like like CPA is because he's an accountant. He's supposed to be like a Jewish accountant character. And it's like, oh, which planet are we going to now? Don't make me run. I have asthma.
I thought he was like an effete British man.
Yeah, well, and then they made George change it. They were like, George, George, you've gone after Jews too much in this. And he's like, what if he is a faggot? And they were like, okay, perfect. We'll just make him gay. I pointed this out. That actually is a bit that I used to do about C-3PO, is like that character is completely unnecessary. Because like C-3PO's the whole purpose for having C-3PO is that he translates shit for them. Right. But the only time he's really translating is in Jabba's palace, right? When he's talking to Jabba the Hutt, who just speaks pig Latin. Like, everything he says is like, me no leti hano solo go. And people are like, yeah, we have no idea what that means. But somehow we understand the fucking dog, the Chewbacca. We understand his grunts. They understand R2-D2, who just speaks beeps. They all learned robot.
Everyone learned
They all learned that, like, R2's like,
but they never learned.
They're like, R2, yeah. And then
James Lipton always asks the same questions to every guest. And it's just supposed to sort of, get their creative, juices flowing, their mind working. We did ask Carl some of them. We never completed the questionnaire.
Oh, let's go
fire a few more at him.
And that'll also introduce people to the way his mind works a little bit. Okay.
Question 6. What sound or noise do you love, Carl?
There isn't really one that I love. Nice noises, like the ones you get, like I like going in the park, right? And you go, oh, that's nice, isn't it? And you get like bird noises and stuff.
Give me your fucking wallet.
But then like
things like nice noises like that, and
but
you fucking cunt! Why did you fucking sleep with her? It's lovely in the park, isn't it?
But with those bird noises comes a bit of stress, right? Because I was in there the other day, and like I say, little bird noises and that, and a little robin was there, and I thought, that's odd, that's out early, right? Because it's like sort of summertime and that. Sure. And then I thought, oh, that's nice, and I was watching it, and then it got like a little worm, right? And I was like, hey, put it down, right?
Sorry, whoa! What do you mean? Because why are you interfering? Why were you interfering
in nature
with a robin taking a worm?
Just because it was a nice sunny day and that, and I thought, you see, worms normally come out when it's raining, don't they? And you go, well, I bet they're happy to die, in a way, because it's chucking it down, it's miserable. They come to the top of the soil then, don't they? Yeah. When it's miserable. But it was a sunny day.
That's they don't drown, I assume.
No, it's not that, is it? It's just that they hear the water or something falling on the ground and they go, what's going on? And they come up to see what's happening.
What? No way. But why do they come up when they think it's raining?
Because they're hearing, like, knocking on their land, and they're going, who's that? And they come up.
Sorry, wait a minute. But why do you think they come up when it's raining?
Because they're hearing the noise of the rain.
Yes, but they know what it is. What am I doing? Why am I talking like him? Of course they don't know what it is. Look,
can worms hear stuff?
Yeah. Well, they got. You don't know anything, Carl.
I assume they can sense vibrations and so on, but they can't hear in the way we hear.
Of course they can't.
Do they?
Of course they can't.
Well, whatever, right? So all I'm saying is that.
But what was this thing about these worms? They hear the tapping and go, oh, what's that? Right, tell us. Okay, so start. You're a worm, okay? It starts raining. Tell me your thought process.
Well, you just you're down there. You can't see anything. It's dark anyway.
Yeah.
So
and
you hear
eyes.
about this, don't you? You hear about blind people have got really good ears. And it's the same with a worm. No, they do. It's an extra sense.
No, it's not. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. They start getting used to relying on them more, but it doesn't. So you don't turn into bionic woman because you lose your eyes.
No, but you do, because you use them more. If you use something a lot, you get better at it. So their ears are good. So all I'm saying is, so this rain's coming down.
I don't know who to believe here, Rick.
The rain's coming down on the land. The worm goes, what's going on?
What's going on?
He wiggles up to the top.
So what does he do?
So it goes up and it sort of sees it's raining, and then it goes back down again, doesn't it? But that's what I'm saying about.
What do you mean? What is this world where he goes, oh, it's just rain again? Oh, so that's the 400th time I've been caught out this year. It's rain. I'll remember next time. I won't come up. What do you think a worm is capable of in terms of cognitive thought?
What do you mean?
Well, a worm can basically tell certain chemicals and certain light patterns. That's all it is, really.
Yeah, and
it's not thinking. It's not choosing its favourite food.
But you don't know that. It's the same way you're saying to me, I don't know what a worm's thinking. You don't know what it's thinking.
I know it's not thinking.
You don't know that, though, is what I'm saying. You don't know what things are thinking. Everything thinks.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No. The thinking...
There's something in this room that's not.
All right, what about this one, then? What about flowers? Do you think they've got
a mind?
A feeling? Because here's something that...
Again, they use phototropism. They go towards the sun. They close and
right,
open.
well,
Can you stop using long words, Rick, like sun?
Listen, do you know I've been to my mum and dad's, right? I was talking to my mum about stuff.
All right.
And she was saying how this flower solved a crime. What happened was, there was a murder, right, in an office. So they said it's obvious that someone who works in the office did this murder because that person's only a sort of a typist. He has, they've done nothing wrong. So they said that's narrowed it down, right? So this flower man came in and he said, I can sort this out for you. So they said, what do you mean? He said, well, during the murder, the plant was knocked off the cabinet,
Right.
And he had some special wires that he can put on the flower, on the flower, and it's sort of shaking and stuff because even though you can't see it, flowers pick up bad vibes and what have you. If you shake a plant, it doesn't like it.
Okay.
Right? So what happened was, he said, right, what we'll do, we'll put the plant back on the shelf.
Yeah.
We'll water it. We'll calm it down. Then
Give it a nice cup of tea.
Then get every member of staff to come in the room and just go near the flower.
Right.
So don't tell them.
So like a line-up for the flower?
Kind of.
Kind of like a line-up.
But don't tell them what we're doing. Just send them in and say, stand by that cabinet where the murder happened and what have you.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a long day. They were getting through a lot of stuff. It was a big office block.
Yeah.
They were going, this isn't working. The flower's not budging. Suddenly, they get into like the last part of the day when they were almost giving up.
They call in a sketch artist. The plant gives them a...
Some caretaker fella.
Caretaker, yeah.
Said, go over there.
Was it an old man that, because Scooby-Doo didn't like him from the beginning.
No.
So, why is that janitor so evil?
They send the caretaker over to the plant. He's going, he's thinking I've got away with this.
Of course.
Plant starts shaking, what have you. They did him.
Okay, wait a minute then. So, was there any other evidence?
Was that the only evidence they used in the trial?
Well, no, it's one of them things, though. Imagine it, if you're that caretaker and you think I've got away with this, then suddenly a plant grasses you up. You weren't expecting that. So suddenly you're off guard.
And you go, okay, can't get that chrysanthemum away from me, I did it. You're talking absolute bollocks. That was one of the most nonsense pieces of shit I've ever heard in my life.
Listen, well, it happened, but...
It didn't happen.
But what I was saying is about the worm, right? The worm that I saw, like I say, it was a sunny day. I thought, what's that doing up here and what have you. So anyway, this robin that I saw that was eating the worm, it had hold of it, and I thought it's a sunny day and that, give the worm a break sort of thing. So I went, oh yeah, like that, and it sort of dropped it in shock. But then when it realised I wasn't that near it, it picked it up again and swallowed it. And I just thought, do you know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean, no.
I just thought it's a sunny day and everything. Normally birds are nice noises that I like, and yet there it is going about wrecking lives.
Wrecking lives! It was a worm!
But it just swallowed it really quickly in that, and I thought, that's life, innit? That's what life is like. 1 minute it's there, then it's not. I just thought, there's the worm. It came out, it was happy, didn't know what was going on, and it had an extra chance. The robin dropped it, and then it got it again and ate it, and I just made me a bit fed up.
Well, do you know why, don't you? You couldn't outwit a robin. You put it off, but then it won. But that's the terrible thing, isn't it? The worm was going, oh God, Carl Pilkington. So that's who's been sent to save me, is it, God? You've sent Carl Pilkington. Oh, I'm dead. That's it. Okay, eat me.
But all I'm saying is how bird noises are normally quite relaxing, but not for the worm.
Unbelievable. That was one question.
Question 7. What sound or noise do you hate?
As me or as a worm?
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Why would we be asking a worm?
I've never heard an actor say that to James Lipton. When he says, what noise do you hate? What, as me or a worm?
No,
wow.
All I'm saying is because of my last question, that's what I was saying. A bird noise is relaxing to me.
Right.
Well, it's not anymore because I think of all the deaths and stuff that go around that.
So now you hate the sound of birds?
I'm just saying it's changed my view on it. It's like anything, isn't it? Every noise can mean a disaster somewhere.
Can it? Why?
Think of some other noises you like. Okay, what's a lovely noise?
No, hang on. Why would the sound of laughter, people laughing, why would that suddenly cause? Why would that also signify disaster?
Asylums.
Yeah, that's depressing, isn't it?
They're always laughing in asylums.
But it's a scary laugh, isn't it?
What?
It's like, oh, if you wake up in the night by the sound of like a baby laughing.
Baby laughing.
No, if I had a baby, right,
Yeah.
and Suzanne was out, she'd work nights or something,
Yeah.
and I'd nodded off, I'd put the baby to sleep,
Yeah.
and then it's 3 a.m. and I'm woken up by the sound of a baby laughing, that would terrify me.
How is this? I just think the baby's sitting up in a chair like Chucky, going.
Well, no. I think the baby's reading his diary, thinking, "Oh Christ, this is my father." I just hope I'm adopted.
Oh God! A baby laughing. Oh God! Come on. No, I'm not getting off this subject. Right. So what other sounds? Right. What other sounds? Right. More you like. Come on. There must be sounds you like.
No, the sounds he hates are even more fascinating. This terrifying, haunting baby laugh.
I don't think you can pick any sound and say, I like that.
I imagine we don't like the sound of a tiger. Evolutionary speaking, that's probably not a good sound to hear.
But there are obviously some calming noises because, you know, when your mother sings you a nursery rhyme or something when you're a kid,
Your mother's
calming.
voice, of course, your mother's voice. That's probably pre-programmed for you to like it.
Yeah. So there's a time and a place. A lion's roar, or whatever you just mentioned, a tiger growling, it's alright. If you're in a zoo, you go, oh, look at that. So there's a time and a place for everything, isn't there?
Yeah.
I don't know what that point is. I don't know how that relates.
Because, I mean, I live in London. If I woke up and heard the sea, I'd be worried. I'd go, what's going on?
You're like the worm who hears the rain.
Question 8. What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
This is you as you, not as you as a worm.
But have I had the training?
Oh.
No, well, I've said before, haven't I, about maybe having to go out an operation.
I don't know why it leaps from where. It leaps from no ambition, where if he could have a job, it would his best job he's ever had is a paper round, and if he could have a job, he'd like go to the cobbler once a week and then walk a dog. To I'd like to have a go at thoracic surgery.
No, I'm just saying, I bet it's like we do this, and you know, some people like listening to it and what have you, and you go, fair enough, but I never feel like I'm doing anything of any worth.
No, you're absolutely right there.
But if you're going into like an hospital, which are places that are pretty miserable anyway, as an office space. Do you know what I mean? When you're in waiting rooms and that.
I'd hate to have my office in A&E.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's loads of ill people coming in. They're normally upset. Do you know what I mean? It's even if the sun's out, it's a depressing building, isn't it?
There's people handcuffed to policemen.
Not only have you got to go in that building and work in it, but you've then got the pressure of changing a lung or whatever I've said before.
Changing a lung, yeah.
But I'd like to have a go at it so I can say
You've done it.
I've done that.
So, under what circumstances, in what world, do you think anyone's going to let you have a go at changing a lung and that? Jim will fix it?
No, I'm just saying the
Comic
way...
relief?
But the way the world is, and the way that there's more and more people, more and more doctors are needed. I mean, it's already happening now that people are doing really qualified for because they get sort of what's the word? Sort of uppered too early.
Upward.
Upward! I love the fact it's basic language. It's like it's unbelievable. It's like there are only sort of like 50 words in the English language, so he has to change them and customise them. Upward.
Do you know what I mean?
Promoted.
Yeah, promoted.
Yeah.
They get promoted.
I prefer upward.
Upward's great.
So
why was I not upward? Unbelievable.
So do you know what I mean? I think because more and more people are knocking about, we need more and more doctors.
Yeah.
You get a job in a doctor's, you're going to be promoted sooner now, I think.
Yeah. Well, what I'd do is I'd probably upper you, and then what's the word? You go away them.
I think it is you go away them.
You leave the door. You leave the door. You fire them. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'd upper you and go away the doctor, if anything.
Yeah. But I've been to. You know how I don't like going to the doctors and stuff?
Yeah. Because you're always scared that they might investigate below the bridge.
Yeah, but I checked on that before I signed up to it, and then they said, right, before we can take you on as a patient, you've got to have a health check, right? Which I thought was odd, because it's almost like saying, if you're ill, you can't be having you coming here. Right? But I said, right, okay, fair enough. What is this health check? And they said, oh, we just check your body out and make sure you're fit and healthy. And I thought that isn't enough information. I know if it's the old finger trick, or. And I said, what do you mean though? When you said health check, what do you do? And she said, oh, it's just that I think she knew what I was getting at. And she said, oh, it's just the blood pressure, your height, your weight.
Okay.
That's about it. So I went and had it and stuff. But you had to, before you sort of said, right, I want this doctor, they give you loads of forms to fill out, right? And one of the things they did was, if you die, what do you want to give away? Right, like a donor. And it had like it's basically everything you've got in you. It was all your main bits: your liver, your heart, your kidney, and what have you. And I thought I really thought about it for 40 minutes or so. I didn't just rush into it. I was sat there thinking, if I'm dead, does it matter and stuff? But I was really concerned when it said about the eyes.
Right.
Why? What do you mean? What? Because can they have your eyes after you die?
It was. I think it was 4th on the list.
Right.
So they just sort of crammed it in. I think they know everybody's a bit cautious about giving their eyes away.
No one cares more about the eyes than the liver or the. Why do you care about giving your eyes away when you're dead?
Just because of that thing of we don't know for sure yet. I know that you poo-poo it, but the afterlife thing.
Right,
you don't know for sure if.
Well, why would there be? How would there be? How would it work? Why do you think there's an afterlife? Why do you think there's? Why?
Because we're here already. It blows my mind that we're wandering about this planet anyway. Do you know what I mean? The fact that we're here, just by
gravity blows your mind, Carl.
No, but do you know what I mean? The fact of your mum and dad have it away, and then you just pop out, and it's like, how's that happened? And then it's
what happens is the father inserts his.
No, but what I mean is, not just that bit. How I've said before about my heart just sort of pumping away on its own. No one's keeping an eye on it. It's not plugged into anything. No. And yet I want to move my hand like that, and it does it.
Yeah.
That blows me away. Right?
Yeah. I mean, you're still worried about whether you control your brain or the brain controls you.
So what I'm saying is, how do you know what goes on after life? Because, do you know what I mean?
So why in an afterlife would you want your eyes more than your liver and your kidneys and your lungs and your heart?
Because ghosts don't eat, do they? So you don't need all your liver and your kidneys and stuff, because they're only there to sort your food out. But your eyes, if you're a ghost, I don't want to be a blind ghost. Because you're around forever then, aren't you? Once you're a ghost, that's it. So the idea of being blind when you're alive, you go, well, alright, then maybe in the afterlife I might be treated to a pair of eyes. But the fact of wandering about, dead for years, bumping into stuff...
Oh, God! Oh, it's amazing! That's an amazing image!
So I didn't tick that box.
But why? I don't understand. In your theory of the afterlife, why is it that this ghostly Carl, why can he survive without a heart, but he can't survive without eyes? Why? Do you see what I mean? Surely if you're this ghostly apparition, you can just see everything and you can do everything. You don't need the body.
No,
because you're a ghost.
Yeah, I know, but I think when you're a ghost... Say like how they've seen ghosts in...
Right, could I just say now for any listeners, this is not the thoughts and beliefs of the management. There is no such thing as ghosts. I do not believe in ghosts. I do not believe in ESP or any mumbo-jumbo. Carry on, Carl. So when there's a ghost, yeah.
When they see ghosts in like old castles and stuff,
yeah,
they've had their head cut off because they've been up to no good, right, years ago.
But they're carrying it around normally under their arm.
That's what I'm saying. It hasn't reattached itself. So if you take the eyes out...
But Carl, how is this ghostly creature able to function? It doesn't have its head on anyway. It's carrying it under its arm, so the suspicion is it doesn't need its head.
No, it does.
It just happens to be carrying it around because it wants to keep it with it.
The ghost is always in the last condition that it was in when it was in...
Who makes these rules?
The way you are in your last bit of life is how you are as a ghost forever, even in the fashion. Like I say, the ghosts that you see never wear modern clothes, do they? It's always the Victorian stuff. Now, if they could change it, they would, but they can't because they're stuck with it. So that's
why did you see cavemen ghosts? When did ghosts start? They didn't kick in till about 1830, did they? What if you die when you're having a rectal examination? Are you always bent forward with your trousers around your ankles and someone's finger up your arse?
But why would you die when you're having that done? That's why I'm not having it done. If that's
No. But you might have both been suddenly killed in a terrible disaster.
Yeah, a meteorite hit you.
A meteorite hit you, or
that's when you get the moaning ghosts, isn't it? They're the ones who aren't happy.
So you're going round bent forward. You've got a doctor's finger up your arse, and what are you doing?
You start going, oh, and that's when you have to get the vicar round.
What do you mean?
They have to put you to rest and what have you, don't they?
And what does a vicar do when he's going? So I get the vicar round. Okay, right.
See, I don't want to get caught with someone with their finger up my arse when the vicars come round.
The last thing I want to catch me is the vicar coming in when I've got a doctor's finger at my arse. I usually hide in the wardrobe when that happens.
Whenever that happens.
So listen, wait. So you're haunting, right? It's years later. It's 100 years later. You're around this doctor's surgery, and there's people coming, and the new doctor there, and it's 2073, and they go, Vicar. They go, Vicar, there's a strange ghostly apparition. It looks like an old doctor, right? And he's got his fingers up this sort of like little. It's like a chimpanzee, but with a shaved head.
No, but the doctor wouldn't be. Are you saying the doctor dies as well?
Yeah, they die. You die at the same time with his finger up your ass, and so you're forever having a little rectal examination with your little trousers around your ankles.
Well, that's when it'd be best not to have your eyes. Here's another one.
This is extraordinary.
No, but listen to this. This is a good one.
This will convince us.
This way. Okay.
This
will be proof. Go on.
I watched the programme the other week about dead people.
Of course you did.
Right? And it was people who had been found in their house. You know, they haven't got any family. They died sat in their armchair. Nobody's knocking on the door, ringing them and checking if they're all right.
Yeah.
Right? So they die and they rot away in a chair. People. You know, the next door neighbour called up whoever you call up for dead people and go, there's a dead body next door, it's stinking, can you come and get rid of it? Right? They go in and...
I forget what service that is.
I don't know where you find that in the Yellow Pages.
It's a good business though, isn't it?
Hello, corpse removal.
Stinky dead people.
So they go in, there's flies everywhere.
Of course there is, yeah.
The doors and the windows are shut. Where are them flies from?
What do you mean?
Do you know that thing, reincarnation?
Yeah.
I think there it is. There's an example of it. How there was no flies in there. A body rots away. Out of the body comes flies, so you live on.
Or out of the body comes flies from the maggots that were in the body.
Oh, okay, maggot then. So we've gone on. We've lived on.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying
fly isn't a reincarnation of the maggot. The maggot is the larval stage of the fly.
No, but forget all the maggot fly.
Right.
Think about going from man to a fly.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying the windows and the doors on this house was shut tight.
Yeah, your
no
question
flies
is...
had got in. They hadn't got in.
They had got in?
They hadn't.
They'd already there. We're surrounded by them. We've probably got fly eggs on us now.
Well, all I'm saying is, it's weird that them flies were in there when they weren't in there. I don't think this fella would have had loads of fly eggs on him.
But
I just think it's a bit odd.
Why? What do you mean?
I just think there was loads of them. You didn't see it.
But it only takes one fly to lay loads of eggs.
Yeah, but...
So you think it's wiser to ignore Ricky's answer and go with your ghostly supernatural reincarnation one? You think that's the wise, sensible way to go?
I just think it's a bit odd how every time someone's got fly eggs on them.
So that, to you, is less of a chance of happening than... when you die, some of you turns into flies. Fly parts.
Well, that happened when my dad chucked a turkey away in a bin. And it was only in there for about a day. I went to go and put, like, a crisp packet in the bin at the end of the garden. And what have you. Picked the lid off, full of flies.
Yeah.
Now, the bin lid. Yeah.
It's like a constant fight with his own brain.
Was fairly sealed and what have you.
Yeah.
Again, it's the turkey living on.
No, it's not.
We're
it's the
all
fact
the
that
same.
while it was out on the table,
It hadn't been out on the table. We didn't eat in the end because it had feathers on it. My mum said, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but what do you mean it had feathers on it?
My dad got it off a mate and said, yeah, I've got this for Christmas, but it was still virtually alive. And my mum said, oh, I'll just get one from the supermarket. So we put it in the bin.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is...
I'm telling you, the eggs were already on it, mate.
It's just an idea about it. It's a theory. Everyone's allowed one.
But it's bollocks.
Back to the Inside the Actors Studio questions. Question 9. What profession, Carl, would you not like to do?
You see, in a way, some bad jobs are good jobs in a way. Because, one, it means that when you have holiday, you really appreciate it.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas, you see, I always thought, like, when I had a job where I used to have to do, like, 4 hours a night when I worked through the night, I only had 4 hours to do from 2 in the morning till 6, right? But it meant that when I was on holiday, I never really appreciated it, because between 2 and 6, I'd be asleep anyway. So, unless I got up at 2 in the morning and went, I'm relaxing now, instead of working, you don't get the full...
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. The rules that you live by, about what you can enjoy and what you can't.
What's good with a holiday, right? If you work in a factory from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, packing socks into a rubber bag, right? Between 8 and... What time did I say my
8.
shift was?
8. It's a 12-hour sock packing job. It is murder.
I also like socks into a rubber bag.
Yeah.
I love to get my socks in a rubber bag. And also, he forgot the timings immediately. He said the sentence, then it went out of his head. So if you're packing, from 8, what time did I say it was? What are they packing?
So, all right, so you're a sock stuffer. You do a 12-hour shift.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So, you go, oh, come on, Rita, no more socks for me. I don't want to see another sock. You got the rubber bag? Don't bring the rubber bag. That's the last thing I want to see.
So what I mean is, when you're on the beach, right, by the sea, between 8 and 8, you're thinking, oh, this time yesterday I was packing socks in a rubber bag. And you can really enjoy it. You can keep going, oh, an hour later you can go, oh, I was packing socks yesterday.
Yeah.
And you can
I'm
keep
glad you're
saying,
enjoying it, love. Will you stop going about the fucking socks? We're on holiday.
I don't think this marriage is going to last.
Oh, look, Rita. I know, you were packing fucking socks yesterday. Let's not fucking talk about it for a week, you boring bastard. Oh, Rita, what? This time I know, you were packing fucking socks in a rubber hunting bag.
No, I was having lunch at this time, you fucking slut.
Oh, Christ almighty.
So what I was saying is, when I was working from 2 in the morning till 6, to really enjoy being off from there, if I was on holiday,
you'd have to get up in the middle of the night
to go, oh, this time yesterday I was playing...
Surely the joy is not having to get up in the middle of the night. Then when you get up and thought, God, thank God I didn't have to get up in the middle of the night like I usually do. I slept through like a normal person. Surely that's the joy.
I think the joy is going, oh, I'm normally doing this at this time.
But that's ridiculous, because if you worked right till 6 a.m, you presumably went to bed and slept in till sort of 3 in the afternoon or something, yeah? So you'd be up at 10 a.m. going, wow, usually I'm asleep, so you get it then. So you're talking shit again.
And the final question from the Inside the Actors Studio questionnaire. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Is that how it works?
Oh.
No,
what do you mean? What's the question?
Well, I don't know. You hear so many other things that you have to go through other gates. I can't imagine him being on the door, is what I'm saying. If he owns the place, what's he doing there? He could put anyone on it.
It's St. Peter, isn't it, who's normally minding the gates, famously.
Right, so it's him asking me.
Okay, well, let's say it's St. Peter.
No. You go through the gate. Peter goes, oh, you're expected. He's got an appointment. We're going through the God. You go through the God. You go through a few doors. Go up the top floor. Right, past the executive washroom, into his big office, okay, that overlooks the universe.
And God says, why have you got a doctor with his finger up your arse?
And you go, well, you should know, you caused it.
So what?
So you've gone in to see God, it's an audience with God, you've died, you've gone to heaven, and what would you like God to say to you at that point? He might offer you great wisdom, he might ask you a question, he might tell you something. What would you like him to say?
And is this just one visit? This is like, because it's my first day.
Yeah, it's
I
your
get a
first
chat
day.
with
Yeah.
him.
You get a chat with him, yeah.
But after that, I don't.
Well, you
I've never
might
seen
bump
him again.
into him at the odd, the
Christmas party.
the AGM.
But I'm not going to
Yeah.
be myself, am I? I'm going to be in shock a little bit, because it's like, I mean, I'm not comfortable on the first day of holiday, because you're in different surroundings, the hotel, you've got to get used to where everything is.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get the best out of me.
Well,
to be
no,
honest.
but you have eternal bliss.
Yeah,
don't you, in heaven?
he's got a long time to get to know you, and he knows everything anyway, so don't worry about it.
So what does he see me then?
What would you want God to say to you? So you walk in there, you're happy with it because you understand now you're dead and well, it's a whole new world and everything's all right. You feel great. Like, what am I saying?
Well, anyway,
I'm going along with this drivel.
yes.
What would you like God to say to you?
All right.
Probably just say, you've done well and that in your life. You never did anybody any harm. So, welcome to heaven. Any problems, give us a shout. Here's a little layout of like a little map. It's kind of like.
I love this. This is a great answer. And my favourite one is you never did anyone any harm. That's great. That's a brilliant thing for God to say.
Yeah.
So hang on, he's giving you a little map.
So he's got a little map of the area.
Map,
It's
and
big.
it'll sort of say, this is where you go for this is where you go for that. I'd probably ask him about the ghost situation. I'd say, am I now a ghost then? Or is this just like another planet that I've come onto?
Right.
I don't know if he'd answer that. I don't know if he'd be sort of a bit, a little bit...
Bit cagey.
Yeah, a little bit like, well, I don't want to panic you and stuff. I'd say, right, is it right that I can see past family and that? Because to be honest, I'd probably prefer to stay away.
He doesn't even want to.
No, but because the thing is, if you've
that's
done all, I've
amazing.
done all that in this life, so it's about moving on to another life and meeting different people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? It's just
Yeah.
like the same all over again, but everywhere's white.
So who's the worst person? You get to heaven and it's all great, and God goes, oh look, and here's so and so, and you go, oh, I know, what's he doing here?
Yeah. But why would he be introducing me to that one?
No, I'm saying who's the worst person you'd like to see? And
Who
I go,
do you just not want to encounter in heaven?
What if he said, right, Carl, you're in heaven, but we've got to teach you a lesson. You're a bit cruel to freaks. Here's Pillow Man. Here's the three-legged juggler. Here's the Elephant Man. They got a few questions.
Yeah, that'd be alright. That'd be
Elephant
fair
Man goes,
enough.
why did you talk about me like that?
I'd say I never had a go at you.
Why did you talk about me eating buns?
But then I'd get a bit annoyed with God. I'd turn Elephant Man onto God. I'd say, well, hang on a minute. At least when he put his head down on that pillar and he did himself in, he did that because he was sick of life. You've brought him up here. He's still got the head. Why didn't you give him a better head whilst he was up here in his next life?
Well, he could say the same to you.
Heaven's beginning to sound like one of the worst drink stews ever. It's awful. Everyone's sort of making kind of snipey comments, and you're having to make conversation with people you don't really want to talk to.
Yeah,
God, I'm not sure God's the best host.
I mean, I don't know if it is like.
Do you think God would like this podcast?
Well, I suppose it just kills half an hour, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but time's not a problem for him, is it?
Yeah, it is, because he lives for ages, so he needs loads of filler. I bet he's, doing stuff that he's just like, I'm not really into this, but it's something to do, isn't it?
Sudoku and stuff.
I love the idea God's bored.
Yeah.
There's a lot to keep him going. Oh, God.
Playing solitaire on the computer.
I know, yeah.
But I think there'll be just as many problems up there as there is here, because at least people are leaving here. Whereas up there, that's the thing that I'd be worried about the most, actually, that it's really crowded. Because it's years and years of dead people, isn't it? London does me head in. Up there, it's going to be well busier than that.
And what are you? So you're presumably you're all naked.
Why has that happened?
Well, because he didn't want Adam and Eve to put clothes on, did he? He was annoyed at the snake and everything, and Eve. So you're all back to nature. You're all naked. So you're all walking around naked, right?
Yeah. But
so you're up there. You're up there just naked, talking to Graham Norton and stuff like that.
I'd have to get used to that. If I go up there and he goes, right, you're welcome to heaven and that. And I go, all right, I've made it to heaven. He goes, yeah. Right, put your clothes in the bin bag.
No, you're up there, you're already naked.
Right, I'd go, well, I'd say, so this is a bit odd.
Why? You wouldn't worry about it though, would you?
Yeah, well, it's just odd, isn't it? It's something different, and something different, you know.
Well, no, you've been naked before. You've been naked before.
Yeah, but I don't roam about with people around me.
They're not people.
You'd have to get used to that.
They're heavenly creatures.
No, but I'd say, look, can you just leave me for like 4 days just to get used to this idea?
4 days, okay.
4 days, just to get used to wandering about, and I'd be in the house, and I'd
What
look
house?
out. The house that I'm living in.
Well, you don't live in a house in heaven. You just wander
Why?
around on clouds, don't you? All naked.
Oh, it's getting worse. I don't think it's that good. It's not fair though, because all them lot have been up there ages with like a chance to get a bit of sun on the body and that, so they'll look alright. I'll be wandering about with like underpant marks and stuff.
Underpant marks!
Rick, I know this is something you always get excited about. It's Carl's diary. Can we have a jingle?
I don't believe it! It's gone really good!
Thank you very much. Woke up to the news about an elephant in India that had sore feet, so the locals have made it a big pair of slippers. Tried to look online for a picture, but I couldn't find anything.
Sure, they've made it 2 pairs of slippers.
Well, I'm only going by the facts in the diary, Rick, and I would have thought that they were absolutely bona fide and fact-checked. Completely accurate. I'd be very surprised if there's any mistakes in here. I'm sure they've done this for an elephant before. I thought elephants have bad memories.
No,
No, but fair enough. I thought elephants have bad memories. If they have, I'm guessing it's going to keep forgetting where it's left them.
I mean, just to get the... If it's a myth, the myth completely wrong.
Yeah.
Elephants never forget. That's the saying. Not they always forget, so you can buy them slippers every year.
Carl says, I haven't had a pair of slippers for years. He thinks they're dying out.
No, I love slippers.
I love a pair of slippers,
I love
mate.
a pair of slippers, mate.
Just wear socks.
Slidey on a coal,
no.
slidey on a piece of lino.
I know. And what about if you know, maybe opening a brand new box of thumbtacks? You drop them all over the floor, you're trying to pick them up.
Rick, I've got to pop across the road to get some milk. But it's right opposite. I'm surely not going to go in my socks, though, am I? But I don't want to put on the shoes, it's mad.
No. Pop some slippers on.
But perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't go out in your slippers,
Why not?
Just across the street, mate, to get some milk.
because they're inside shoes. You don't go rowing about on tarmac in slippers, that's basic.
But you don't have any slippers, so
No,
you're
but
just tiptoeing across the street, you know.
I
with
put
your-
my shoes on.
But you can pop out and get the paper and you know the bottle of milk, can't you, in the slippers without any harm done?
No.
Huh.
Apparently not. That'll make it into the diary. Tried to have a shower, but there was no water.
I love it when he calls it and things go wrong with the flat.
But I like the fact that he tried to have a shower, but there's no water. How long did it take you before you realised he was there for 20 minutes?
Yeah, after 20 minutes, he said, Suzanne, should I be dry?
Yeah, I'm freezing cold.
Yeah, no, you should be sort of wet and warm. Right, there's no water then. Brilliant.
I called the service charge people, but no one was about. Looked outside, but couldn't see any work going on. Great, innit? In India, they can sort out elephants with shoes. In London, we have no water. Hung about for a bit, but still no sign of any water. Brushed my teeth just using the paste, and used the little bit that was in the kettle to have a wash. I was pretty chuffed that I thought of using that. Suzanne was a bit annoyed because she wanted a cup of tea. She said go across the road and buy a big bottle of water.
Not in your socks. Pop some slippers on.
Go across the road and buy a big bottle of water, she said. I never thought of that. You had a wash using the water
That's
in the bottom of the kettle?
Yeah, well, that's clean, isn't it?
But how much? There's only a little drop in there.
No, it's a big kettle.
So what, did you just wash your face?
Yeah.
So you didn't wash your body or anything?
Your genitals
Well,
were
you couldn't, could you?
filthy.
You've got to look at what you can do with the water available. People in Africa and that shot of water aren't wasting it, saying, oh, my feet are a bit dirty. You drink it. What do you mean?
I had a look online to see what's been going on. Scientists say that Everest, brackets, the mountain, just in case you've confused that with any other Everests.
Maybe the double glazing people.
Yeah. Scientists say that Everest has grown a bit. The way they were talking about it, you'd have thought it's grown loads. It's only inches.
No, isn't that... They found out that it's actually a couple of inches taller than they first thought because their methods of measuring are more accurate than they were 20 years ago. So it's bigger than they thought it was. It hasn't grown.
No, I just think what's happened is at the bottom, because of like people are always climbing up it, aren't they? Right?
Yeah.
So they're sort of wearing away the soil at the bottom.
Talk rubbish.
Push it then.
It's also measured against sea level. It's not measured about when you get. Otherwise, they'd just dig a big hole, wouldn't they? And go right, it's down to here. If the peak is measured against sea level.
Does it matter at the end of the day?
No, but it's just nice to know, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is we don't need to know that. It's not going to put anyone off. Like Brian Blessed, who's always climbing up there for fun. He's not going to go, oh, I could handle it last year, but 2 more inches. Forget that. Going to be shattered. So don't worry about it. It doesn't matter how big it is. Something else, though, that's happened since, right? They were climbing up there, and someone got near the top, and they were sort of climbing up like that, holding the cliff edge and that.
And they'd forgotten the flag. Had to go back.
No, their hand hit the bit of rock, and it went like, ding. Like, what's that? Ding, ding. Put another hand up, ding, ding. Piano under there. They don't know how it's got there.
Right, you're talking shit again.
Someone's been tipping.
Well, oh, right.
Up Everest.
Okay. The council won't even take away your washing machine unless you pay them. They're not going to sneak up Everest.
No, this is the problem, innit? Because the council won't take anything. People are going, what can we do with this?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Just sneak up Everest. It'll take you 9 days, and you may die. But just pop it up on Everest.
Well, I know for a fact that you've confused a few things there, because I think the piano being found was actually somewhere in Scotland, some kind of moor in Scotland, and they found a piano up there, and everyone said, I don't understand, how's a piano doing up here? And it turned out that some guy, one of these people who like tries to break world records, had dragged a piano up there as some kind of feat of endurance, but thought, I'll be damned if I'm going to take it back again, and just left it up there. It wasn't, bloody tipping or aliens or anything.
My dad used to bury things in the garden because the council used to charge for like washing machines and mangles and cookers and pets. So I'm just thinking in millions of years when they dig that up, they think that dogs used to cook and like do washing up and things. Yeah. I love the idea of burying utensils. And think of the hole big enough to bury a washing machine.
Or a mangle. So whoever kind of bought that house after your dad, they got a little treat in store.
Yeah, lovely little themed rockery.
Yeah. The weather is weird this morning. 1 minute it's sunny, then it's thundering, then hailstones, then it's sunny again. People will be saying it's global warming. I don't really know what that means. Everything's changing all the time, innit? I wonder if years ago, when we first came out of the sea and we walked on land upright, did people blame the weather for that?
Good point. Right?
No, it's so stupid.
Yeah, ridiculous.
We didn't come out of the sea and instantly start walking around like humans and go, oh, can you believe it? We were swimming around, we were having a whale of a time. Do you know what? I blame the weather.
No, but now they would if that happened. It's the same way, say like evolution, right? We talk about it a lot, right? Now, years ago, I don't know how it happened, but some whale had legs, right?
Yeah.
This is how it started.
Before he was a whale, yeah. Whales started off with legs,
they
that's
were
right.
rowing about on the beachfront, right? Anyway, it worked out that, they didn't like it or whatever. Get back in. Now, say if that happened again now, right? Say if someone's born and they always say, don't they, check for lumps and stuff, right? Make sure you haven't got any lumps. Now, say
sorry, who says this and what's the what?
Like magazines and doctors and that.
What,
always say,
when you were first born?
Yeah.
Okay. But arbitrary decision, that answer.
But all I mean is, now, say if like our evolution thing is kind of like the next level is for us to have 3 legs because we're that busy on the world now.
But it doesn't work like that. Why would it work like that?
Because that's nature, innit? It deals with it. If people are getting stressed out and getting achy legs a lot, because they're going, well, what you're doing there is you're using 2 legs like you've got 3. You need another one. But the problem is...
No.
Say if someone grew a leg now, because it's like, well, we need 3 legs.
Yeah, but...
Let him finish.
Okay.
People would go, oh, I found a lump, right? And the doctor would go, oh, whip that out. Now, that could be a 3rd leg. That's growing.
But, Carl, evolution doesn't work like that.
It does work
suddenly
like that.
something isn't born with a perfectly formed 3rd leg that can be passed on.
I know, it's a lump. It starts off like a lump, and if you left it alone, it would eventually, over a bit of time...
no, over many, many millions of years.
Yeah, but it'd grow as another leg, but we're not letting that happen anymore.
It also wouldn't happen. Limbs don't work like that either.
They do if you keep putting extra pressure on 2 legs.
Carl, you're... Honestly, what you imagine the process of evolution and natural selection to be is it's beyond me. It's incredible.
But it depends whatever your surroundings are. That's what you change to, isn't it? Like the.
Well, you don't change to it. You're either selected or you're not. So, what happens is there's a genetic throw-up. So something's born, a llama's born with a slightly longer neck. And if that gets, the leaves that are slightly higher up and it survives, it lives longer, it passes on its genetic material. Soon, if that works, now over millions and millions of years, that they're the dominant species, a new species is thrown up with a slightly longer neck, and so on and so on, and it's gradual. It's just a slight advantage.
Sometimes it happens quicker than that. There's been animals that have had eyes and then they go, they don't need them, they go in the space of a fortnight.
What are you talking about?
There's a lizard somewhere where it's roaming about in the dark and it used to have eyes, and they used to be like, why have we got eyes and that? What's the point in having these? Because we're keeping them open. And they were getting more tired. Because at the end of the day, if your eyes are open, do you know what I mean? Blind people can stay up longer than someone with eyes.
Keep going. I want to follow this through to its natural conclusion. Keep going.
There is